Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at a fuzz face, or a fuzz face type thing. Really excited about this. This is the Voodoo 67 from Argenziano Effects. He's an Italian guy, Francesco, making pedals mainly in England. I think he's might be moving, he said, but at the moment he's making pedals in England. So here we have a pretty solid representation of a fuzz face, as he says. The coolest thing about this pedal though is that he's managed to source NKT 275 germanium transistors, and you know, if you read up on your forums and your stuff, they're probably the most sought after transistors for fuzz face pedals in the world, and he's basically managed to source them and make a pedal for a really reasonable price. I believe this comes up at around 110, 115 pounds, 110, 15 pounds, which is crazy when you consider that other manufacturers are making NKT 275 fuzz faces for double and triple that kind of money. So here we go. He says it's pretty an accurate representation of a fuzz face. You know, I kind of respect the fact that and you know, a lot of guys are trying to refine, add things to old circuits that maybe aren't necessary, and I respect that Francesco is just making great versions of old pedals. That's cool. I'm fine with that. A couple things to note: there is no 9-volt input, so it's running on a battery, so just like the old school stuff. We have fuzz and we have volume, and then obviously the switchy thing. So there's a few warnings that come with this pedal. Of course, if you know, germanium transistors are extremely delicate and extremely sensitive to heat and light, so you've got to keep your pedal pretty safe, pretty in a cool environment. Don't let it get too hot. He says a new battery should last about a year, so there's no problem. Just remember to unplug it every time. He does say at the top, Voodoo 67 loves an overdriving amp with high volume. So we'll try that. He says using this fuzz on a clean amp is like pizza with no tomato al mozzarella. We'll see about that. Usually I use all my fuzz pedals through a pretty clean amp, but we'll try both. We'll try through how I would usually set my amp, and also let's drive the amp a little bit and see what the difference is. So let's roll. The Argenziano Effects Voodoo 67 fuzz face type pedal with NKT 275 germanium transistors. I'm really excited about this one. I want to see what all the fuss is about with those transistors, and let's give it a whirl. Cheers guys. Clean sound, victory into the Music Man with a little bit of reverb. Here we go. So at the moment it's pretty sparkly clean, it's alright, we're cooking a little bit, but that's how I always set the amp. That's my personal tone. Later on in the video we will gun the amp, get some gain out of it, because that's apparently the sweet spot of this pedal. So, clean sound, sounds like this. Voodoo 67 with everything at 12 o'clock. Boost the volume up a little bit. Cool, that sounds huge. Sounds a lot of low end, but that's cool. We like that. We like low end. So let's bump up the gain to match the volume. See how this sounds. So the low end gets a little easier to manage once you turn the gain up a little bit. Let's max out the fuzz. Probably have to bring the the volume down a little bit, and let's see what this sounds. I always play in E. Let's play in another key. Let's play in... So let's just turn the gain down a little bit. Probably have to boost that up all the way. See, you know, that's literally, I went from 10 to 9 on the volume control there, and it cleaned up wonderfully. So 10 o'clock, literally tiniest movement with the pinky and you just get a clean sound. That's what those germanium NKT 275 transistors are famous for. Just being able to clean up really nicely. Let's see how far we can take it. So let's max it out. So we're about 3 on the volume control on the guitar. That's a nice, clean, crunchy, sort of woolly on the bottom end sound. That's really nice. So he says on the instructions that this pedal really likes to see a gainy amp. That's a clean amp and it sounds killer. Pretty clean, and then it sounds like this. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That sounds absolutely killer. But we will gain the amp up a little bit. Let's just go like that. Okay, so we've gained the amp up a little bit. As you guys know, the Victory V40 doesn't get massively gainy. It's kind of a clean, bluesy, headroomy, pedal platform, all those stupid terms kind of amp. And maxed out on 7 watts. I've jumped the wattage down as well so we get a bit of more compression breakup. It sounds like this. So, with the Voodoo 67 on top, everything at 12. So there you go. That's fuzz heaven in my books. That sounds absolutely brilliant. And I know he says in the instructions it sounds better in front of a gainy amp. I preferred it in front of the cleaner amp. I just think it gave it a little more clarity. It tightened up the lower end, because there's a lot of low end in this pedal, I ain't gonna lie. It does get better once you turn the fuzz up, I think, and it cleaned up really nicely actually. When the fuzz is maxed out, cleaned up less so, but it still gave you that crunchy, that classic sound. But when the fuzz was down on the pedal, it really basically gave you a clean sound. Awesome pedal, amazing price point if you really want those NKTs 275s. I believe he's just released a BC 108 version as well, so if you like your silicons better, hit him up and he will get you an awesome fuzz face pedal. The Argenziano Effects Voodoo 67 fuzz face with NKT 275 germanium transistors. Hope you enjoyed the demo, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.